So I just woke up and there's kind of a topic I want to go over that I think is very stupid. Sorry, to begin with. There seems to be this influx of people who, for some reason, think Boot Hill is aging better than Firefly. I honestly don't know why. Like, I don't know if this is some type of cope that people just use, people with agendas. But there's been an influx lately because in the 2.5 Hule MOC, apparently some guy with Boot Hill zero cycled it. I haven't even seen that. The last time I looked at a Boot Hill Hule showcase, it was a one cycle at E0S1. And people are like, oh, Boot Hill better than Midfly, aging better than Midfly, clears fast. Do you guys just not understand that the hunt character against the single target boss is gonna do more damage to that single mob than Firefly will, considering Firefly targets 3 enemies at once? Like, I really don't understand where the logic is exactly coming from here. It doesn't really make sense to me in the slightest. Now, don't get me wrong, Boot Hill is one of the... Actually, I'd say he's on par with current leaks Fei Xiao. Like, he's very, very strong, right? But you also have to keep in mind that there is a break mechanic currently in the 2.5 MOC that literally makes it perfect for Boot Hill to zero cycle. Basically, you can break the mob once, and he'll have a break bar again that you can break again. So this boss is practically made for Boot Hill. Like, it's made for him to zero cycle. Now, I wanted to talk about this because there's too many people saying Midfly this, Midfly that. Like, there's also people who think Acheron is better, and I want to say something. If you compare E0, S0, Acheron, and Firefly, the shit isn't even close. It takes Acheron significantly longer to gain her stacks because of not having her light cone. Like, I'm just going to be completely honest, right? And then, if you also don't have Qiu's coming out soon, so if you have Acheron, I'd go for him. But if you also don't have Qiu, you're not going to be hitting your ult that often, and when you do, it's not going to be doing all that much damage, right? My current Firefly team is severely underbuilt. I have my Harmony MC at E2, so I don't even get his E4 break effect buff, right? My Gallagher and my Harmony MC are literally like half built, and my Pela is barely built at all. Yet my Firefly still does like 300k every single E every time I farm a Relic Domain or something like that, right? And that's without Ruan Mei. Like, if I had Ruan Mei, it'd probably be 4 to 500k. Like, Acheron does that much damage at E0S0 without, like, or sorry, but she does it way less. Like, Firefly's gonna do her E 3 to 4 times a cycle. However, Acheron's gonna do her ult at E0S0 probably 1 time a cycle. That's the difference between these two, right? And the Midfly complaints are so cope that it actually, like, it's impressive, right? Like, I can understand, don't get me wrong, I can understand if you argue for her being team locked, though even then, Harmony MC Gallagher, literally 2 free fucking units. Like, the only fucking other unit you'd really want is Ruan Mei, but then again, Firefly still works without Ruan Mei. Not as well, right? But still works without Ruan Mei. Now, Acheron without Qiu is I'd say it's a bigger hit to her overall damage than it is for Ruan Mei on a Firefly team. Because soon, we are going to be getting Lingsha. And if you don't know what Lingsha does, she is a follow-up fire sustain who basically just breaks enemies faster, allowing Firefly to then do damage faster, right? Now, this matters a lot Because let's say you didn't get Ruan Mei, you can just add Lingsha to your team. It'll pretty much make up for it with all the follow-up attacks, right? And then, if you really want to invest in your break team, E1 Lingsha is broken. She gets a 50% weakness break efficiency increase for herself. That being her skills, her follow-ups. They all do 50% more weakness break efficiency. And when an enemy is weakness broken, they automatically are applied with 20% defense down. Yeah. Instantly 20% defense down and 50% weakness break efficiency, right? So Lingsha is looking very, very strong for your Firefly team. Not necessary, right? However, she is still very strong. I've seen her do like 1,000,000 damage a cycle at E0S1 on a E0S1 Firefly team. She is very, very strong and very, very underrated. And I honestly feel like so many people are trying to cope with Lingsha being strong by saying Gallagher is also strong, and while they aren't wrong, they're not really quantifying just how much stronger Lingsha is. Like, she is doing triple the damage a cycle than your Gallagher would on your Firefly team. The entire point of her kit is that her healing and her cleanse, although it's very good, right? It's still very good and probably better than Gallagher's. It is the least important part, the least standout part of her. The most standout part of her on the Super Break team is the fact that she does follow-ups over and over again, and she can be very broken if you know how to play her well, right? For example, when she uses her ult, the bunny, Fu Yuan, gets 100% action forwarded. So what you want to do is wait for the bunny to take their turn. When they take their turn, then you ult, and then the bunny takes their turn again. So you've done basically 3 attacks at this point, and you're obviously going to probably do half, if not more than half of the weakness bar with just that combo. And if the weakness bar is already broken, you're getting hundreds of thousands of damage in with Lingsha. This is simply something you cannot do with Gallagher, and literally the only person who's ever argued against me about this told me he had a 168 speed Gallagher that was doing 3 to 400k a cycle. Like, not only is that half the damage than Lingsha would do, but that is absolutely disgusting relic quality that 99% of the player base just doesn't have, right? So the Midfly complaints have never made sense to me. She is the most free-to-play, powerful unit in the game so far, if I had to say. The next one might be Fei Xiao if you run her hyper carry, right? Like, her optimal team follow-up, no. That's definitely very fucking expensive. However, if you run her like E0S1 with Bronya, Mose, and Robin, it isn't that high of cost, right? It's just her at E0S1 and then Robin, right? However, I wanted to make this video because I've been seeing this way too often, especially in some of the leaked gameplays, because Boot Hill as a hunt is clearing better than Firefly, who is destruction, against a single target boss with 2.7 million HP. Like, boys, let's be honest, we all knew, like, unless you were a toddler, everyone knows Boot Hill does more single target damage than Firefly. Like, is this new or something? So obviously he's going to perform better against the single target mob. I really don't get why people just decide to shit on Firefly whenever they have the chance. It really makes no sense to me. Considering, let's be honest, if you compare E0S0 Boot Hill versus E0S0 Firefly versus E0S0 Acheron and even E0S0 Fei Xiao currently, in their optimal teams, Firefly is better. Like, I'm going to be honest, Firefly is just better. For that Boot Hill team to zero cycle, you need some insane speed tuning on your Bronya. Like, I'm just going to be honest, your Bronya is going to need some absolutely insane investment for a Boot Hill zero cycle on Hule. That shit is unrealistic as fuck. It's possible, yeah, but it's very, very unrealistic, and he's being helped by the MOC because of the MOC buff that allows him to break twice even when the target's already been broken. Like, that adds on to his damage tremendously, right? So, in my opinion, call me controversial, I don't care. I think currently the number one DPS in this game is Firefly at E0S0. I'm talking E0S0, okay? E0S0, it's Firefly. Secondly, Acheron, third, Boot Hill. In terms of how strong they are overall. Because keep in mind, Boot Hill can't, like, pure fiction. Like, you need to realize that, right? These hung characters are almost unusable in pure fiction. I'm just gonna be honest, right? They're not that good. And so the pure fiction is getting stronger and stronger soon. You're probably going to want better pure fiction units. Firefly and Acheron work in every single endgame mode. With Acheron having the advantage in pure fiction over Firefly, and Firefly has the advantage in Apocalyptic Shadow over Acheron. However, all three of them work in literally every single endgame mode, while Boot Hill only works in MOC and Apocalyptic Shadow. Like, in terms of pull value, it is Firefly, and it's not even close. Especially if you don't have a Bronya in your account, you're instantly gonna notice a pretty big difference without a speed-tuned Bronya with your Boot Hill. So, I think this is a dumb argument. I think Midfly is a dumb argument. I'd actually say the only reason she's hated on is because she's actually the best. I've noticed this happens pretty commonly. Very often will someone who's popular and better than everyone else be hated on the most for being better than everyone else, because it's no different in the music industry, video game industry, right? These video game wars. When someone makes a game better than your favorite game, you're gonna trash that new game no matter what if you haven't played it. And I think that's what's happening here, where the majority of people who haven't pulled for Firefly are calling her Midfly without ever having played her or actually, like, recognizing that they're wrong, because they're most likely just trying to push an agenda because they're mad that Firefly got all this hype, this specific relic domain. They're mad that she got preferential treatment from Hoyo, which I myself am pissed at, because I hate having to farm for new fucking relic sets for her characters. But I do think there is this extreme bias towards Acheron in the Hoyo community, as if Acheron, I'm gonna be honest, right now isn't even in Firefly level. Like, if you compare an E0S0 Firefly per cycle damage, like team-wide, to a E0S0 Acheron team's damage, team-wide, it's not even fucking close. Like, I'm being so serious. It's not close at all. Like, she gets completely beat out by Firefly. And it's by, like, an actual mile until Zhao Q ends up coming out. Because Super Break is just that broken, right? However, you can make the same argument. Oh, wait till Zhao Q comes out. Wait till Lingsha comes out. Lingsha is going to boost the break team's damage by probably 5 to 600,000, probably more than that, over Gallagher, having Gallagher on the team. And then you could just put your Gallagher on a different team. Let's say you want to go for Fei Xiao, the follow-up team. You put Gallagher with Quick Pro Quo on a Fei Xiao team with Robin, so that Robin can get some extra energy, and she can get her ult back before it ends, right? A lot of people don't take this into account. Oh, but I have Gallagher. Okay, you can put Gallagher on other teams. Like, he isn't purely stuck on fucking Firefly's team. I have seen multiple runs at this point. I've seen him on Acheron teams. I've seen him on Yun Li teams. I've seen him on follow-up teams. Like, the man fits nearly everywhere with Quid Pro Quo. Like, I'm being so serious. He is, like, the most versatile sustain in the entirety of the game, and you can practically fit him nearly anywhere on any team, and he'll work just fine. Like, a lot of people underestimate the fact that he can be put outside of a Firefly team. So going for Lingsha is still worth it. Now, I don't know, right? I don't know. I haven't checked yet. I don't know her V3 changes. I'll probably look at it after this. I probably won't make a video on it, though. I don't know if she got nerfed or buffed. From what I heard, she really didn't get overall that much of a change, and her E1 is still the same. So she's still broken. She's still absolutely busted for the Super Break team. And I really don't understand where people are kind of getting this, hate from for Firefly, considering she's probably the current strongest DPS in the game. Now, is that because of Super Break? Yes. If we get another Super Break DPS, she'll probably be replaced. But you can literally make this argument for any old DPS. If we get a new DPS of this type, then they'll probably be replaced. Like, that's kind of the point, right? The point is that Firefly makes Super Break even more effective than it already is, which is why she's so broken, right? So that's the video. Have a good night. Have a good day. Peace.